research professor Ken Halanych. I work in the biological sciences department. I got involved in Auburn Speaks when Jay Lamar asked me to help contribute a piece on the Gulf oil spill. I've been involved in the oil spill from just after the spill happened. It happened April 20th, 2010, and we started sampling just shortly after in May. We've been looking mainly at the myofauna. These are the small organisms that live in between sand grains. Because the larger organisms can leave, you have to think about the smaller organisms as well, because they can't just get up and swim away. So the question is, how has the oil impacted them?
My name is Pamela Brannock, and I have joined Dr. Halanich's lab in June of 2011 as a postdoctoral research fellow. I became a part of this myofaunal project in response to the BP oil spill starting in June, and basically we take sediment samples, as you can see here, and we extract the DNA from the sediment and then send that out to be sequenced through next-gen sequencing to determine what species are actually present in the sediment. And then we look at differences between our pre-spill samples and our post-spill samples, and we have also been doing a year-long study to see how the community changes just along a year. So this is just some sediment collected kind of near shore off of Dauphin Island. So the sand is more, this sediment's more muddy than this sediment's more sandy. And what's on the top, these samples have been preserved in formalin. So the top layer is just the formalin liquid layer, just to preserve any organisms that are within the sediment grains. But this kind of shows you nicely how, if there was any oil in the water column, it might just settle down right on top of the sediment and really affect these small myofaunal organisms that live between the sediment grains by, kind of falling over the top and them not being able to access any nutrients from the top.
We're still waiting to get some of the data back so we can really understand the full extent of the picture. With collaborators at the University of New Hampshire, we've actually gotten some of the data back so far from before the spill and just after the spill. And what we notice is that a lot of the organisms that are normally in the sediment, things like nematodes or annelids or some small crustaceans, they were apparently, they disappeared after the spill. And what we have found is that after the spill, the community is being dominated in particular by fungus. And that's sort of interesting because most people tend to think of fungus as being around when things are dead or dying. One of the important things we're trying to do is follow the spill through time, or follow the effects of the spill through time, so that we can see if the communities return to normal or whether they undergo some type of other alteration or change.